Okay, so imagine, right, like a rage so powerful it practically shakes the myths to their core.
Yeah,
We're talking about Achilles
of course.
after Patroclus dies. You know?
Oh, yeah.
It's like this fury explodes and it sets off events that are legendary,
Right.
almost superhuman in scale.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what our source material describes so vividly.
Uh-huh.
This deep dive is going to zero in on that like immediate aftermath in the Iliad.
I think what's so fascinating to think about right from the beginning
Yeah.
is how this incredibly personal loss for Achilles,
Yeah.
like it kicks off this chain reaction,
Yeah.
and that becomes the driving force
Right.
behind the next super intense phase of the Trojan War.
Yeah.
And our main guide for this is this transcript from an art TV documentary.
Okay.
It's really cool because it gives you this sense of like you're right there witnessing these events,
Uh-huh.
as we kind of unpack Achilles' like burning desire for revenge.
Yeah.
And then all the amazing divine intervention that happens right after.
Exactly. And so if you're with us on this deep dive,
Yeah.
this is your like express route to understanding this pivotal moment.
Yeah.
So we're diving into Achilles' brand new God-forged armor.
Oh, yeah.
The oath he swears, which is unbreakable.
All right.
And those first furious steps as he goes back onto the battlefield.
Absolutely.
We're going to pull out those core motivations,
Uh-huh.
the incredible details of the gods getting involved,
Right.
and the immediate shockwaves that come from Achilles' wrath.
But let's start by looking at how this armor even comes to be in the first place.
Okay.
We're introduced to Hephaestus,
Yeah.
the god of the forge.
Okay.
And one of the first things that jumps out at you
Yeah.
is the contrast in his character.
Yeah. Yeah.
He's this lame god,
Right.
son of Zeus and Hera,
Yeah.
but he's married to Aphrodite,
Oh, wow.
the goddess of beauty.
That's a pretty striking image, isn't it?
It is.
And the documentary transcript
Yeah.
reminds us why he's lame.
Uh-huh.
Apparently his own mother, Hera, was not a fan of how he looked
Right.
and threw him right off Mount Olympus.
Yeah.
That's a rough start to your divine family life.
It is, but despite all this,
Yeah.
Hephaestus is in this very unique and crucial position.
Uh-huh.
He's the only one who knows how to create these indestructible weapons for the gods,
Right.
working with gold, silver, bronze, and tin.
Wow.
And so it's to him that Thetis,
Achilles' mother.
exactly, Achilles' mother, turns to in this like super critical moment.
And this isn't just some quick, patch-up job.
No.
The transcript goes into detail about how Hephaestus works all through the night,
Yeah.
relentlessly forging these raw materials in this fiery forge.
He's not just making any old equipment.
No.
He's crafting a sword that's described as sharper than even Ares' blade,
Wow.
and a spear that's lighter and more precise than any mortal warrior could ever use.
That's incredible.
And we can't forget about the defensive gear as well.
Right. All right.
Strong greaves, a well-made helmet, a radiant breastplate. But the real showstopper, the one that gets the most detailed description,
I don't know if you could say the shield.
is the shield.
Absolutely.
The documentary really highlights that it's made from 5 layers,
It's layered.
making it almost impossible to break through.
Yeah.
But it's not just about protection.
Right.
It's like this masterpiece.
It's art.
It's a visual representation of almost everything,
Oh, wow.
And Hephaestus even puts his own mark on it,
So it's like signed by him?
like the true divine artisan that he is.
That's so cool.
Yeah, and the engravings on the shield,
Yeah.
they're meant to symbolize that like eternal order of the cosmos,
Okay.
this grand celestial tapestry.
Wow.
You see depictions of the earth, the sky, the sun and moon, and their constant movement,
Yeah.
the fixed patterns of the constellations.
Right.
It's this really powerful reminder of this vast scale
Yeah.
against which this human conflict is happening.
It's putting things in perspective.
Exactly.
Doesn't end there, though, right?
Yeah. It doesn't stop there.
He puts in scenes of everyday human life, too.
Exactly. So you have a city at peace,
Oh, wow.
and right next to it, a city swallowed by war.
Wow.
Fields of pasture vineyards, men and women going about their daily business.
It's like a snapshot of an entire world.
Exactly. A complete world all captured on this shield.
Incredible.
And finally, encircling the whole shield is the river Oceanus.
The river Ocean.
Yeah, and the transcript makes it very clear that this isn't just a shield.
Right.
It embodies the entire universe captured in metal.
It's like holding the universe.
It really is. And what's also really interesting is Hephaestus' take on the Trojan War.
Yeah.
He remains neutral.
Okay.
He actually laments that this strife amongst mortals
Yeah.
is disturbing the cosmic balance.
So the war is messing everything up.
It makes you wonder, why he puts so much effort into these details on the shield.
Right.
Like, is he hinting at what Achilles' rage might disrupt?
That's a good point.
You know?
It really does put this whole human drama into perspective. It's definitely.
This god, who's so powerful, he can create all of this,
Yeah.
sees their war as a fundamental disruption.
It is a disruption of the natural order.
And then we see him presenting these fin-haired arms to Thetis on the shore as dawn is breaking.
It's a striking image.
It is. It's very evocative.
And the transcript also reminds us about that connection between Thetis and Hephaestus.
Right, they have history.
They do. She
Yeah.
essentially took him in after Hera, tossed him out.
Yeah.
And she taught him how to make jewelry.
Oh, wow.
So she nurtured his skills.
That's why he can't refuse a request.
Exactly. It shows how connected everyone is in the divine realm.
Yeah.
This really makes you think,
Yeah.
does Hephaestus just feel obligated to help?
Right.
Or is there something deeper going on?
Yeah, is it more personal than duty?
Yeah. And then Thetis, with these amazing gifts,
Yeah.
returns to Achilles.
Who's still in deep mourning.
Oh, absolutely. He's completely consumed by grief for Patroclus.
What's his reaction when he sees this new armor? Well, the transcript says it's immediate.
Really?
His eyes light up as he takes in the sight of the armor, the sword, the shield.
Wow.
It's as if this display of divine power reignites him,
Yeah.
channels his despair into this fierce determination for revenge.
Like a new focus.
Exactly.
He doesn't waste any time putting it on, does he?
Not at all. He rises, puts on the armor,
Yeah.
and he's completely captivated by the shield.
It's like the weight of his sorrow is lifted.
For a moment,
Yeah.
but that sorrow is still there.
Right.
Now it's fueling his resolve.
Yeah.
And the transcript then goes on to describe Achilles' oath,
Yeah.
spoken over Patroclus' body.
Right.
He says that he won't hold a proper funeral until he brings back Hector's head,
the man who killed Patroclus.
the man responsible for his death.
Wow, that's a heavy vow.
It's a raw commitment to vengeance.
And Thetis doesn't stop there, right?
No, she doesn't even, but Patroclus' body receives divine attention.
What does she do?
Well, to prevent his body from decomposing.
Yeah.
Thetis pours red nectar and ambrosia into his nostrils.
Nectar and ambrosia.
The substances that only the gods consume.
Right.
It prevents decay.
So she's preserving his body.
Exactly. This act shows just how extraordinary these circumstances are.
Yeah.
And how involved the gods are in this human tragedy.
It's a really poignant moment that follows, isn't it?
It is.
Achilles and Thetis essentially say goodbye because she knows that this armor, magnificent as it is,
Right.
it won't save him,
She knows he's walking towards his death.
even with the best armor in existence.
Exactly. The transcript makes it clear
Yeah.
that not even Zeus can change his fate.
So it's destiny.
Yeah. There's this sense of tragic inevitability about Achilles.
It's heavy.
It is. But Thetis tries to comfort him. She tells him that he'll at least enter Hades in glory,
Okay.
and that he will have instilled fear in all his enemies.
It's a grim reminder of the warrior code.
It is the values of their world.
Yeah, and then we witness Achilles returning to the Greek camp.
And the reaction from his Myrmidon soldiers is incredible.
What happens?
They're described as being in awe and afraid at the same time.
Afraid of their own leader.
Well, he's filled with rage.
Yeah.
This isn't just Achilles the warrior.
Okay.
This is Achilles consumed by vengeance.
And the Greek leaders,
Odysseus, Nestor, Agamemnon.
they recognize this shift right away.
Immediately they know that reconciliation's about to happen.
Okay.
And that his fury...
Rio, powered up by the gods,
Exactly.
is going to bring them the revenge they crave.
Absolutely. And Agamemnon's next move is surprising.
What does he do?
He humbles himself.
Really?
He admits that he was wrong to do what he did to Achilles,
Wow.
acknowledges his mistake, and promises him riches and honor.
When the war is over.
Once the war is finally over,
That's a big change from how they were before.
it is a complete turnaround.
And he returns Briseis as well.
Yes, as a real symbol of his apology.
What does Achilles say?
Well, according to the transcript, he barely registers it.
He doesn't care?
He's so focused on Hector and getting his revenge
Yeah.
that Agamemnon's words have no impact on him.
That says a lot about his grief.
It does. It's completely overriding everything else.
Wow. Meanwhile, on the Trojan side,
Yeah.
Hector's getting his forces ready.
He's feeling confident after Patroclus' death.
Yeah.
And he's taken Patroclus' armor.
Oh, wow. As a trophy.
Exactly. He sees it as a sign that Troy is going to win.
He thinks they're on the verge of victory.
He does. But his wife, Andromache,
Yeah.
she's not so sure.
She's worried.
She's terrified. The transcript really emphasizes her fear.
She begs him not to fight.
She's pleading with him.
She's heard the rumors about Achilles coming back.
Right, and she's scared for Hector.
Of course, for her husband.
And their son.
They have a son.
Yes, a young son named Astyanax.
Oh, wow.
And the nurse is carrying him.
That's a powerful image.
It really highlights the human cost of this war.
Yeah, it's not just about kings and soldiers.
Right.
It's families.
It is.
And Andromache's words are really haunting.
She talks about Achilles coming back specifically for revenge.
For Patroclus.
Yes. She's not just pleading for Hector's life.
It's for their family's future.
For their son's future.
And Hector?
Yeah.
What does he say?
His response is full of love.
Yeah.
But he's determined.
He won't back down.
No, he entrusts Astyanax to Zeus and the gods of Troy.
He's putting his son in their hands.
Yeah, and he expresses his hope.
For what?
That his son will be even greater than him.
Oh, wow.
He believes that no warrior can send him to Hades before it's his time.
He's accepted his fate.
He has. And his farewell to Andromache and Astyanax,
yeah,
it's full of duty and tragedy.
It's heartbreaking.
It is.
And up on Mount Olympus,
yeah,
the gods are watching all of this unfold.
Zeus sees everything.
Achilles a return, Hector's determination.
And the transcript says he sighs.
He knows what's coming.
He knows fate has been set in motion.
It can't be stopped.
It seems that way. And there's this division amongst the gods.
About what?
About Achilles' rage. Apollo, Artemis, Aphrodite. They're all troubled by it.
They're worried about what he might do.
They see the potential for destruction.
Right.
But then you have Hera and Athena.
And they're happy about it.
They see Achilles' wrath as the way for the Greeks to win.
It's a reminder that the gods have their own agendas.
They do. They have their favorites.
It's not as simple as good versus evil.
Exactly, the transcript points out.
Yeah.
That the gods know that Zeus was favoring Hector.
Right. To appease Thetis?
Exactly, and to punish the Greeks.
For what they did to Achilles.
Yes. But now he's allowing Ares and Athena to get involved.
But didn't he say he wouldn't?
He did, but it's almost like he can't control it anymore.
Achilles' rage is too powerful.
It's like this unstoppable force.
And as the armies prepare to fight again, the gods themselves come down to the battlefield?
It's a full-on divine intervention.
Wow. Who comes down on the Greek side?
Hera and Athena are the first.
Yeah.
Followed by Poseidon and Hephaestus.
Hephaestus is interesting.
He's not necessarily on the Greek side.
Right.
He wants to protect his creation.
The armor.
The armor. He doesn't want to see it destroyed.
So he's protecting his work.
In a way.
And who's on the Trojan side?
Aphrodite, Apollo, and Artemis.
Yeah, okay.
Along with their mother, Leto.
The goddess of night.
Yeah. So it's like a mirror image of the mortal conflict.
God versus God.
Exactly. The transcript emphasizes that they're defying Zeus.
They're going against his orders.
They are each god ready to fight their counterpart.
This is a whole other level of war.
It is. And then Poseidon shakes the earth.
He's angry.
He is. And it creates a tremor so powerful.
Yeah.
It feels like the underworld is opening up.
Wow. And down on the battlefield?
The clash is brutal.
The armies clash.
The whole plain is echoing with the impact.
And Achilles.
He's like a force of nature.
Cutting down anyone in his path.
He's unstoppable. He has one goal.
To find Hector.
Exactly. He tries to rally his troops.
Even though Andromache begged him not.
He vows to face Achilles.
He's brave.
He compares Achilles to a raging fire.
But King Priam and Queen Hecuba,
they're watching this carnage unfold.
It's a massacre.
It is. And then there's this heartbreaking moment.
What happens?
Achilles kills Polygoras.
Their son.
Their youngest son.
But Priam told him not to fight.
He forbade him from fighting.
This is so sad.
It says Priam's grief is overwhelming.
And Hecuba.
She's devastated.
What does she say?
She murmurs about a dream she had. About a torch.
A torch?
Yeah, it was an omen during Paris's birth.
Right, and Cassandra prophesied Troy's destruction.
Exactly. It's like a premonition of their doom.
Connected to Achilles' rampage.
It is.
And to make things worse.
Athena steps in.
What does she do?
She gives Achilles this supernatural glow.
He's glowing.
It's terrifying.
And the Trojan...
They're completely panicked. They flee in terror.
It's like he's radiating vengeance.
Yeah.
And where do they go?
They try to escape into the Scamander River.
The river that flows around Troy.
Exactly.
But they can't escape Achilles.
No, he follows them right into the river.
He's relentless.
He is. And the slaughter continues.
In the water?
The transcript describes the river turning red with blood.
This is too much.
It's horrifying. And the Scamander...
The river god.
Yes, the river god is enraged
by all the deaths.
by the defilement of his waters.
Right.
He rises up against Achilles.
The river is fighting back.
It swells up.
It's going to attack Achilles.
It looks that way. The river god is ready to drown him.
To stop his rampage.
Yes.
But Hera...
she sees that Achilles has disappeared in the water.
She's worried.
She knows he could die.
And so she calls on Hephaestus.
Yes, to save him.
To save Achilles.
For the river god.
What does Hephaestus do?
He unleashes his power on the river. Fire and molten lava.
Wow.
The transcript describes these agonizing cries coming from the river.
The river is in pain.
It is maybe even Achilles, too.
As he's caught in this divine battle.
It's unclear.
So much has happened. It has this deep dive into the events after Patroclus' death.
Yeah.
It's been intense.
It really has.
We've seen the full force of Achilles' vengeance.
Unleashed and fueled by grief.
We saw that incredible armor being made.
A testament to both Hephaestus' skill.
And Thetis' love for her son.
Exactly. We saw the gods picking sides.
Yeah.
Influencing the war with their own motivations.
And it escalated to this crazy level.
Drawing in a river god.
It was incredible. What stood out to you the most?
I was really struck by the Scamander River's reaction.
Yeah, the river fighting back.
It shows that connection between the mortal world and the natural world.
Right. Like Achilles crossed a line.
It seems that way.
It really makes you think about these themes.
The destructive nature of grief.
The consequences of revenge.
The relationship between humans and the gods.
And fate.
These stories are still so powerful.
Because they're about the human experience.
Exactly, and it leads to a question for you, the listener. What does this episode tell us about the limits of rage?
How far can it go?
And to what extent can the gods be pulled into human affairs?
Are we really in control?
And how do personal acts of vengeance affect everyone?
Not just the individuals involved.
Whole civilizations, even the cosmic order.
These myths are giving us so much to think about.
They really are.
Thanks for listening to this deep dive.
It's been a pleasure exploring this with you.